Welcome to Vibes of India. I'm Janvi.
And I am Deepal.
And as Gujarat elections are just around the corner, we have started a new discussion series called Bole Che Gujarat 2022. This discussion series is to keep you updated about everything, all the political drama going on in Gujarat. And today, this is our third episode, and today we are going to discuss about the governance style, be it Gujarat model or Rajasthan model or Delhi model. This will be a discussion instead of a Q&A. And to start with, we are definitely going to start with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision and the Gujarat model.
Uh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been obviously fond of his home state Gujarat and has a vision for Gujarat. His all-encompassing vision mainly focuses on vikas, development, infrastructure, big projects, governance, good civic amenities, and a modernized public transport system, among many other things. But they are all essentially big, mammoth, colossal projects. And Gujarat, as we have seen in last couple of decades, especially since 2001, that Mr. Narendra Modi became the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Gujarat has always very enthusiastically lapped upon every announcement and every decision taken by Mr. Modi. Bole Che Gujarat 2022 is a special segment, and this segment is available in Hindi, Gujarati and English for our viewers, where we dissect political developments as and when they happen. As Janvi rightly pointed out, tonight we're discussing the various models available. It's like one big Gujarati thali available for the Gujarati audience, whether it's the Delhi model of governance, the Rajasthan model, and of course the old and tested Gujarat model.
True. And when we started by discussing Gujarat model and how everything is so big in Gujarat model, there's also other side of it which I don't think we can ignore. And this is when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi was still the CM of Gujarat, and he started this project called 100 Smart Cities. And even then, there was this idea that this Gujarat model is very pro-rich, it's pro-urbanization, while the poor and the middle class gets left out from this whole model of development. What do you have to say about this?
Janvi, it's a good observation. I would agree with you that the Gujarat model is essentially pro-corporate, pro-rich, and pro-urban. But if we look at the 182 assembly seats in Gujarat, the BJP way back in 2007 crossed this hurdle of being only an urban phenomena. Now we see that even rural Gujarat, tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and even small villages have started, capping upon the model envisaged by Prime Minister Modi, that is the Gujarat model, and maybe it has to do with the aspirations of the common Gujarati.
And that's why it's still so.
Yeah, Gujaratis are essentially very aspirational, very entrepreneur oriented, and this model suits Gujarat.
And that's why
And
see the
yes.
results as well. True. Apart from Gujarat model, the another model which is really being discussed a lot these days is definitely the Delhi model of governance due to Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, and there the promises are something like electricity or healthcare or education, and I think it is also creating a lot of buzz in Gujarat. Do you think that that might appeal to the audience?
This model of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, where basic amenities like health, education are largely subsidized, has been also termed as a Revdi culture in Gujarat. It is a very interesting name. because in Gujarat, the Shing Revdi combination, right? It's considered to be a good time pass. So this name, very aptly coined by Prime Minister Modi, could also mean that this is a model which people really want to dwell upon, talk about, debate upon. But when it comes to casting their vote, are people going to really lap up the Delhi model? The Delhi model, if we see or dissect, is altogether a different model, a model that Gujarat has not witnessed since at least last 2 decades. You know, if we look at the statistics, over 569 students of different government schools in Delhi have cleared the NIT and the joint engineering entrance examinations. To expect this from a government school in Gujarat would be a bit too much. Though there is quite a bit of criticism on the functioning of the mohallas, right? The mohalla clinics. All said and done, it's a good concept. But then Gujaratis, as Gujaratis are generally perceived, are considered to be more Atmanirbhar, more rich compared to other parts of this country. And there is an argument that Gujaratis do not like the culture of freebies. So the Aam Admi Party's model, that is the Delhi model, focuses quite a bit on freebies. But rather than calling it freebies, we could call it welfareism. Right? And welfareism as such is not a bad idea for a country like India.
Which even BJP government or the other government are doing in other states.
Definitely, in Gujarat too, we have the Ayushman card, the Ma card. You know, the Ma card assures very subsidized and free medical treatment. There is free ration available. There is free education under various schemes. The Kanya Keravadi scheme of Gujarat, mooted by Mr. Modi, has become sort of a model for all other states in the country, which promotes education, girls' education essentially.
True. But many times, all the promises or so-called guarantees of Arvind Kejriwal are considered as just false promises by the current government. But I would just like to add the point that Aam Aadmi Party started this Bijli Andolans way back in 2014 when it was just formed, and it won elections and formed government, and also proved how they can subsidize electricity or how they can subsidize education for people. So I think like some parties' forte is to go communal, or some parties' forte is to task politics. I think Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party has showed us a tried and tested model of how they can subsidize things and make it work for people.
But at the same time, Janvi, because you made a very sweeping statement, I would want to add that if you look at the Delhi model also, or the Aam Aadmi Party's model, the model also is quite slanted towards one particular community, right? And that works in Gujarat.
That works in Gujarat,
right? The majoritarianism as an aspect of democracy is really vibrant in Gujarat. And Aam Aadmi Party, surprisingly, which otherwise is, it is against BJP, but when it comes to this aspect, both Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP seem to be treading on the same path, wooing the same target audience.
Yeah, and having their inception in the same ideology. Yeah. And at this juncture, we have to say that one of the latest entrant to this model of governance is definitely the Rajasthan model of governance, and as promised by Mr. Ashok Gehlot. It is also said that they're trying to copy the Aam Aadmi Party's model of governance in some way by introducing healthcare, introducing electricity. Do you think that there are similarities, there are drawing parallels, or Congress party has just woken up a little late in introducing their model of governance?
First of all, I do not think that Congress has copied or emulated the
Model.
Delhi model or the Gujarat model. Because if we go back, slightly back, you know, the Rajasthan government's health model, right?
Yes,
Or the initiatives that Rajasthan government took in the health sector, and this I'm talking about in much before 2015, or maybe before that 2010, was to introduce generic medicines. This concept where doctors are not allowed to prescribe medicines of a particular pharma company, and thereby sort of rob a good chunk of money from the patient. There is this concept of generic medicines which was initiated
by.
Yeah, and this was pre 2014.
Okay,
So they were way ahead before the Mohalla clinics
came
came into place. Or I would also say, that lot of other freebies or concessions or the Ayushman or the Ma card were introduced.
Yeah.
Rajasthan took the initiative of introducing generic medicines, which is a real relief for the common patient, because medicines, the cost goes 1/4 of the medicine that a pharmaceutical would have. So writing just the composition of a particular medicine. So now, yes, we do have Rajasthan model. Unfortunately, as you rightly pointed out, and what I would agree to, that the Congress is a bit slack in its approach and is not as aggressive as the Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party when it comes to pushing the model.
But they're unique in their own way.
They are unique in their own way, you're right. But whether this message is going to reach to the person concerned, to the masses,
That's yet to be seen.
yeah. Because as of now, I don't know if you have marked it, but I feel that it is not just the model that matters, it's also the marketing of that model.
The perception of
And the perception. So perception gets consolidated with very consistent, strategic and systematic marketing.
Yeah.
So I would definitely want to say that Congress is not as aggressive as of now compared to AAP or the BJP.
I think people also have a very short memory, so they need constant reminders of what your guarantees are, or what your promises are, what your type of governance are. And I think that this needs to be done more repeatedly. They need to go on ground a little more to maybe popularize Rajasthan model of governance, which is fairly new for Gujaratis.
Number one is that, and number two is Congress has faced a series of consecutive defeats in Gujarat. If we go to see, since 1994, rather 1994 was the last year
That
Congress was in majority or in power. Right, so as you say, public memory is short. So there has been an entire generation from 1994 to 2022, people who have not seen Congress in power. So they do not know the Congress's ideology, their style of governance, their functioning, what their concerns are or what they would focus on. So all this is lost on the person, So of course, it could also mean that Congress could be appealing to a voter on a completely, fresh manner, a clean slate. But then, is that communication enough?
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it enough?
No, I think that they are a little late, but considering the history of Congress, I think that if still the party comes together, resolving their internal conflicts, which the Congress party has lately become so famous for, then I think still there is scope of,
I think you're too optimistic.
the second number, at least for the second number, which I think that Aam Aadmi Party is also, catching up and gaining ground. So I think the race is only for who's number 2. You just know who's in the
Oh my God, you nailed it. See, this is, I think, the perception that every Gujarati has, that
the
before elections are
Yeah.
held, the verdict is here that it's the BJP,
Yeah,
who's going to be in power once again in Gujarat. The BJP has been in power in Gujarat since 2001 without a single break, right? In fact, since 1998, there has been a change in chief ministers. We've had since 1998 we have had Keshubhai Patel, we have had Narendra Modi, we have Anandiben Patel, we have had Vijay Rupani, and we now have Bhupendra Patel. So since 1998, Gujarat has seen 5 chief ministers, but all of them belong to the BJP, right? So as you said that there is no competition or there is no suspense about who's going to win 2022, because Bole che Gujarat, if Gujarat is going to speak out, it is going to speak out in favor of BJP. If there are no drastic political developments, right? Politics
it's very unpredictable, uncertain, so we just never know.
Yeah. So the race is about number 2. And I personally feel that though Aam Aadmi Party is really working hard, as of now it seems interesting to see whether it would be the Congress or Aam Aadmi Party that gets the second slot.
And it's also interesting to observe that it's only Gujarat model which can go national and then people would accept it. Because recently the Delhi model of education went on the front page of New York Times. We saw that on the same day, Deputy CM Manish Sisodia had an ED raid at his house. Do you think that apart from Gujarat model, if Rajasthan model or even Delhi model would get international limelight, I think then there will be problems. Followed by
That's too sweeping a statement to say that they will have a problem. But you're right. History says so.
True. And for any, recently in March 2022 itself, Kerala government sent their team to study the Gujarat model of e-governance. And after this incident, Congress gave this statement that whosoever wants to form ties or solve their problems with her Prime Minister Narendra Modi would, appreciate Gujarat model or would come to Gujarat to study a Gujarat model. Do you think that Gujarat model is also a way to form ties with Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Okay.
Like the Congress's statement.
I personally believe that if there's anything good, whether it's the Gujarat model, the Rajasthan model, or the Delhi model, if there is even an iota of goodness in a particular model, there's nothing wrong in other states approaching that state, because at the end of the day, it's the public that's going to benefit. So I appreciate Kerala's move of sending a delegation to read it as a sign of forming ties or taking the first step, that first crucial step, I think would be reading a bit too much.
And I was just wondering, I don't know which model of governance is really pro marginalized people or people who are staying on the edges of the society. I don't know, it's more about like agenda, it's more about perception and less about showing equality to even those people who are on the margins of society. Do you think any of these government models are catering to this sort of thing?
Here I would say that it is Congress, right? Though of late in Gujarat, even the marginalized sections of the society have not been supporting the Congress, because in 2014, we saw that Congress did have a bit of support, but in 2019, out of the 26 parliamentary seats, Congress could not win a single seat. This shows that absolutely the Congress did not have anyone's mandate, which includes the marginalized section of the society. To say that there are no poor people in Gujarat or there are no marginalized communities, that is wrong, right? So Congress has lost their support, which was earlier its traditional vote bank. But I still like comparing different models, whether it's Delhi model, the Gujarat model, or Rajasthan model. I would just keep it all the models on one side, but I would say the Congress has certain policies and they do stand up for the rights of the underprivileged, the disadvantaged sections of the society.
I was wondering about that one aspect or those characteristics which are common to all these models. Like if you are coming to Gujarat, irrespective of any model, you have to say appeal to the business class of Gujarat, like all models are doing. But can you think of anything else, which is common to all these models? Like coming to Gujarat, this is the thing you would have to say or you will have to do.
See, whoever comes to Gujarat has to, as you rightly say, cater to the business community, because entrepreneurship runs into the Gujarati DNA. For example, Gujarati would not want to get into IIM or they would not want to work for a 5-star hotel chain. They would rather open up their, chai kettles, have multiple branches, or want to hire a grad from IIM. That would be their dream. So this is one characteristic which is common, and each political party has to cater to this. Other than that, I think it's all about opportunities. So politicians, wherever they find any space for themselves, to grow and thrive, they cater to that.
And lastly, coming again to Gujarat model, what do you think has really worked so that the model is here and will be here, irrespective of whatever competition the Gujarat model has?
To be honest, I think Gujarat model is all about majoritarianism, catering to the aspirations, ambitions, and there's a very harsh word which I would not want to use, but basically looking after the the innermost elements, whether they are conscious or subconscious aspects of the majoritarian community. I think that's the most important part of the Gujarat model. Whatever we talk of development, whatever we talk of empowerment, whatever we talk of growth, all this does exist. But in the end, it is catering to a particular community, the majoritarianism, and this model of majoritarianism is what characterizes and defines the Gujarat model.
Also to say that this model also has its own set of limitations. There is the aspect of Gujarat model which we have to literally hide when we have international guests coming on in Gujarat or in Ahmedabad, but I think that's for another discussion.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. For more such discussions, for more such interviews, keep watching Vibes of India and stay tuned for all political drama going on Gujarat in our special segment Bole Che Gujarat 2022.
Do watch Bole Che Gujarat 2022. Thank you.